All right, so one of my pet peeves about seeing other people's car and also my car is especially when the interior is disgusting, oily, greasy, and dirty. Naturally, your body gives off body sweat, oils come off your skins, the amount of hand sanitizer you probably use is going onto your steering wheel. So in this video, we're gonna be tackling one of the topics that a lot of you actually asked for. What products do you use? What product would you recommend on maintaining the interior of the G8X? And also, this is very important because if you want to keep and maintain the interior on making it sure that it's going to look good and preserve it, you're going to want to use these products, if not something similar to these products. I do want to thank the team over at Gyeon for sending me these products. These products we're going to be using today on my G80 M3, and specifically the beautiful carbon buckets. But check this out, because about a few weeks ago, actually, I'll take you guys further in. All right, so about 2 weeks ago, I started noticing on the right bolster of the seat, I started noticing that there was a shine to it, right? I also started noticing a little bit more over here. A lot of that area is gonna be the high contact areas of these carbon bucket seats. And one way to make sure these seats do not look like trash later on, especially with this nice Fiona red leather interior, is to clean the leather. Because leather itself is gonna soak up all the oils from your skin and also your clothing. Your clothing has natural dyes that get embedded after a while of the friction onto the seat. All right, so these are some of the products that Gyeon gave me. I was speaking to Will at Gyeon and I was explaining my situation, what the car already has. Again, if you guys didn't follow the series of my G80 M3, you guys know that the whole car is PPF, which has been such an amazing thing to do. It's been ceramic coated, and also the interior has been ceramic coated. It's been ceramic coated actually with Modesta's coating on the interior and also the exterior. But today we're gonna be talking about Gyeon, right? This is Q2M Leather Set Mild. This is the entire kit that you need to make sure that your interior stays clean and protected, and you're able to actually use about 2 to 3 cars of using this kit here, which is plenty enough. I think a lot of this is gonna go a long way, and I'm not gonna lie, Will, if you're watching this, I tend to use a lot of products, so we'll see how it goes. Inside, we also have vinyl cleaner, right? As you know, I opted not to get the full leather package. And the full leather package would have gave me leather over here on my dash, but instead I opted for the vinyl. Only because long term, if I plan on keeping this car, and I mentioned it before, sometimes the leather, over time because of the heat, starts bubbling on the side, and I've seen it on multiple M4s. And I know some of you guys that do have M4s are probably dealing with the same issue, or M3s from the F8X platform. But we're gonna be using vinyl cleaner, right? This is gonna help clean and maintain it. A lot of the grease from your legs, also your shoes kicking the door sills and all the vinyl. And this is what's gonna help protect it. We're gonna use this towards the end as we do the vinyl. All right, so going into the kit, you could definitely feel a lot of the products are high quality. One of the things that Gyeon is definitely known for is some of the best packaging ever. If you look at that, come on, that looks pretty cool. Just from my experience, and not to knock anything from the team at Gyeon, I am not gonna use this on the steering wheel, only because from my experience, I've used other brushes on steering wheels. Sometimes these brushes this is not really abrasive, but I do wanna take precaution because this is probably one of the softest leathers on this car, and I wanna use a soft brush. So I'm gonna use a synthetic soft brush, and I'm gonna use to clean the leather steering wheel. The rest of the seats, I'm gonna use this, right? I'm gonna lightly use abrasion, right, to emulsify the dirt from the steering wheel or the seats to basically keep it clean. Again, this kit has everything you need, and one of the most satisfying things that you're probably gonna see in this process is actually how dirty this cloth gets, right? This is a nice white leather microfiber towel, and it's gonna get disgusting. You'll see in a little bit. And if you're the type of people that hasn't really cleaned your leather steering wheel seats, you're gonna see how disgusting it is, and it is very disgusting. What's good about this that it already comes foamed up. Next time you get into your buddy's car or even your car, right? Look at your steering wheel. If it's shiny, you failed yourself and you need to buy this product and clean it, right? For the first coating around, I'm gonna basically lightly, get some of the dirt off. And you can see it right over there, all that dirt's circling in that area, right? You can see that from here. Like this whole area is just like a light gray as compared to the rest of the white towel. And I can see it right now, a lot of that shine is actually pretty gone with the first pass. I'm gonna show you guys right over here. Hopefully in that camera, you can see it. And I can see it from this angle here. It is pretty greasy. One way to do the steering wheel too is that you could actually use another microfiber towel. If you're afraid of damaging it, you can use a microfiber towel to put the product on and also wipe it off with the clean one, obviously. So you can see that all that dirt and grease is coming onto this microfiber towel. One thing to keep in mind too, that is really, really good. Okay, one thing to do too is that you definitely do not want to keep using the same portion of the towel because a lot of that dirt you're wiping off, you have a possibility of getting back onto the car, onto the leather itself. So as I continue this, for me, it just becomes a little bit more relaxing, especially now that I'm in my own garage and I have the AC blaring, and you probably can't hear it because it is pretty quiet. I know when I used to do a lot of the deep interior cleaning, I would do it in the winter of Florida, right? Because I'm not sweating back into the seat. Now I'm in an AC controlled garage, right? And I'm able to do this now, and it's kind of relaxing to me. Yeah, you can definitely see a lot of that dirt come off. And this is a pretty big bottle. I think this is gonna last you. They say about 2 to 3 cars, depending on how big the interior is, right? But this is a step that you want to do on making sure that it's clean. So I gotta say, this is actually a really, you see all that dirt there? That's just from the bottom of my steering wheel on the top portion of it. So that's a decent amount of junk coming off. A lot of people will take the time to clean their exterior of their car, but they will also neglect the interior of the car. I think that's something that you shouldn't do because you spend most of the time inside the car anyway. You don't spend a lot of time on the outside. The only time you spend on the outside is when you're looking at it, walking to the car, or you're at a Cars and Coffee or a car show. And I've used many different other products. This has a nice scent to it, right? Just based on me using the product, it has like a citrus scent to it. A lot of the other products I've used definitely has a strong chemical smell. This actually smells pretty good. And all these products I'm using, oh my God, that was really dirty. Look at that. That was just off this one area here. See that here? And also, hopefully you can see it there. Yeah, disgusting, right? So one thing I like to do after I kind of do a whole pass of it, I like to touch it, right? I like to feel where I'm feeling some grease, right? And it feels really good actually right now. Touching the steering wheel, there's no tackiness to it. It really feels like it was brand new the day I got it, right? The day I got it feels like this, how it should be. Not greased up, not slip and slide going on. And the next step after this would be obviously to use your leather coat. And this is a UV protectant, it repels water, and also adds a layer of conditioning onto the leather, protects it, all that stuff. So we'll definitely use this. What I like to do is, me personally, I like to let it dry. So what I'm gonna do is clean this seat. By the time I get done with this seat, I'm gonna apply this coat onto it. And this way it absorbs, because this way the leather is less saturated with obviously the cleaning product. And also we're in an AC cooled environment, and I actually feel the AC blowing into the car because I have the vent just pointing down. I'm feeling a nice rush of air here, which is actually really nice. Because if you watch my previous videos, I'd be complaining all the time about how hot it is in here. All right, so one of the things that we're gonna be doing now is the carbon bucket seat itself, right? Obviously the driver's seat's gonna be the most dirtiest one. And early in the video, you saw that I was talking about how the sides are just filled with more of that shine and sheen to it. And that's probably from your skin, from the grease and oil, and also your clothing dye. I'm gonna show you right over here. And actually, this feels like a really good brush. You don't have to go too rough with it. You know, you wanna get at least some moisture on the entire brush. But I like to go in circle motions. Not a lot of pressure needs to be applied because you're letting the bristles do all the work, right? You're letting the bristles emulsify, take all the dirt off. And I did one quick pass, and we're gonna find a clean part of the towel. And we're gonna show you how dirty that portion is before it dries up. You definitely don't want it to dry out because at that point, you just basically did nothing. So, you can see all that dirt right over here, and hopefully you can see it from here, if not here. You can see where my hand and pressure was, all that dirt's right on this area here. Again, I just removed one layer of nice dirt, and I'm gonna do a couple more times just to get more of that dirt off before you start applying the protectant. One key tip too is that you wanna do the cleaning process in sections. You don't want to do the whole thing because at that point, it's just too much to handle, and you're gonna let the product dry, and at that point, the dirt dries back onto the leather, which is something you don't want. So let's see, let's go to this portion of the towel, and let's wipe it again. Yeah, you can see that. All that dirt's right over here. Clothing dye, dirt, all that stuff is going onto the towel. And just touching it now, there's no grease. I'm telling you, this is a really good product. I'm very impressed with this foam cleaner, or this, what is it called? Q2M leather cleaner. Very impressed with this. Again, this is one of the areas that I notice to be very shiny. Let's go in the middle of the towel. Ooh. Yeah, you can see it. You can see it right all across over here. That's where all the dirt is. And noticeably, that shine is pretty much all gone. I'm gonna do a little bit more in the corner here where I see some shine. If you guys haven't seen the video where I demonstrate how to get in and out of these carbon bucket seats, check that video out. I'm gonna list in the description. It's gonna help you preserve these beautiful bolsters and prevent you from needing to buy a bolster protector. Again, the bolster protector, for me, it looks out of place. Of course, it does help and preserve your bolster, but there's a method of getting in and out of the seats. Why not use it, right? You could use it and save yourself some money, and also save yourself some headaches on how horrible it's gonna look in the future. But yeah, that just basically took all that grease off. So I'm gonna do a couple segments because this video doesn't need to be a long video. It's just a more informational video, and also give you guys some information about some of the good products to use. There's a lot of products out there, right? When you go to AutoZone or when you go to Amazon, there's a ton of products out there, right? Many companies are making up products to clean leather, condition leather, and I'm here to showcase some of the products that work the best. And I've been cleaning and detailing my own car for quite a bit. The only thing I haven't really learned yet is actually polishing, which, too late for this car. This car is already entirely PPF, so. Maybe one day when I get another project car, I can learn how to do some paint correction. All right, so I'm gonna finish up this seat, and once we're done with this, we're actually gonna be tackling the door panels, right, where the vinyl is. Again, my car, I spec'd it out without the full leather, and I've mentioned it before, right? The reason why I didn't want to do a full leather is because I just don't want to deal with the leather lifting from the dash, and I've seen it multiple times on the previous generation, so I didn't want to put myself in that position. If I do plan on keeping this car long term, which I definitely do because this is one of the last manual M3s. If the next generation does have a manual, then I would be saying goodbye to this, but I don't think that's gonna happen. We're gonna clean the vinyl, we're gonna protect the vinyl, and I'll show you guys that process. Once that's done, we're gonna apply the leather coat onto the steering wheel and show you guys that. And that's basically being the same procedure for the rest of the interior, right? You're gonna clean, you're gonna apply the leather coat, and you're gonna let it dry, and you're gonna enjoy it after. You're gonna enjoy the protectant, you're gonna enjoy all the benefits of it. So again, stay tuned. All right, so now that we're done with that carbon bucket seat, we're gonna go on to the vinyl. This is probably one of the areas where everybody kicks accidentally getting in and out, or eventually gets dirty from just you touching the side of it. And again, all that grease on your hand gets to those surfaces. You can spray it onto the surface and wipe it off. And I can see where there's been some shoe marks and some scuff marks, and you can kind of see some of the dirt actually on this navy blue towel. You're not gonna have that satisfying look after because you'll see more on leather than this vinyl, but you could definitely see how it's definitely cleaning it up. It's bringing back that darkness into the vinyl. You can see how much darker it gets. All right, so I wait about 5 minutes for this to dry. Again, this is plastic, so it's not gonna take as longer to dry as leather because leather has more pores. But after that, once it dries, you're gonna use your Q2M preserve. This is gonna be for your vinyl trim. I've also seen this used on the engine bay on like the vinyl cover where you have your engine cover. In all these products, this product especially is going to have some UV protectant too. All right, so I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna finish up the rest of the interior, but I really hope you guys are enjoying this little detail series. For me, it's very relaxing. I know a lot of you guys could relate. This is definitely relaxing to do. It's definitely a time where you could just de-stress and just zone in on making sure your car is very pristine. So let's continue. This is leather coat. This is something that is part of the kit. It's easy to use, right? You have your applicator pad here and you have the solution. A little goes a long way. I've seen their instructional videos. What I will do is I'm gonna insert their instructional videos in this video in the description where you can see it if you want a quicker way of learning how to do this, right? Or reassurance of how to do this. But I'm just applying in sections, right? And I can see right away that it's drying with the flow of air that's coming in. I see it drying onto the leather, and it's really not putting a shine or sheen to it. So as you can see, all you need is very little to apply it onto the leather. And again, when it dries completely, it's gonna leave it a nice matted look. It's not gonna give you any sheen or shine to it. And again, this is something that's very easy to do. Hopefully this gives you an idea of what products you can use for your car, and it gives you an idea of how to maintain your leather, because at the end of the day, you wanna make sure that your leather is gonna be conditioned, protected, also from yourself, right? Because getting in and out of these seats, you want to have a layer of protectant on it. All right, so hopefully this video kind of gives you an idea of what products you can use, some of the highly recommended products you can use on maintaining the interior of your car. Remember, a lot of people concentrate on the exterior, which is perfectly fine, but people do neglect the interior, right? People do neglect the interior on making sure that your interior becomes clean, because you're in the car constantly. A lot of the grease from your skin, like I said, also your passengers. I know my wife puts lotion on constantly and it gets all over the side bolsters and stuff, and I see it and I'm like, you can't, you know, she's the boss, right? So this gives you an idea what products you can use on your car on making sure that the leather stays maintained, it matches how it looks on the exterior of the car. And here's another thing too, is next time you get into your buddy's car or your car, definitely look at your steering wheel, look at your side bolsters. If it has that shine to it, you want to pick up this kit to make sure that this is all cleaned. So I did want to mention, if you guys like these type of videos that gives you guys some insight on what products to use, if you find this video helpful, hit the thumbs up. It really helps my small channel grow. I really want to thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys on the next video.